2 more races to go. We're at race number 5. It's Talking Horses with myself, Justin Bird, and Mark Monkhouse. And race number 5 is over 6 furlongs. I'll let you go first because I do have a runner in this race. But what I'll say, obviously, just for punting purposes, pick 6, you've got no chance. But punting purposes, if the one of the 2 horses we mentioned at the top of the handicap in the maiden win very comfortably, so that's Dar Rashid or Bravo Usain, you've got to look at Backstage Tour in this race because he beat them both.
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't look at Backstage Tour, but I'll explain why later. But you'd have to give a look at him because of the other 2. If one of them goes and wins very, very comfortably, obviously there's a lot of non-form in the field, but you can put you onto this one. It's a strange race for me, and I'll explain why after you give your tip.
There's a couple of horses in here that I would Jebel Ali race and put them straight on the paper. It's number 7, your horse, First Night.
Never been out the prize money in Jebel Ali.
Runs well there, and Latcaf, or whatever you say.
Yeah.
It's Ali Rashid, Western French, a winner at 2 times last season at least. And but again, this First Night, I think he's an early horse, and he runs well. That's off the low weight with Richard Mullen. I think he's got a very, very good chance.
Latcaf, I'll tell you that he beat Canas at the maiden first race last season. I think it was the first race in December or January at the meeting. First or second, right. He won the maiden there, beating Canas. So it has a bit of form. He then beat Special Boy, who went on to win twice. So you've got to put him in the mix.
Yeah.
However, back end of last season, he just didn't look the same horse.
No.
And I honestly think 6 is too sharp for him. All his wins have been over 7.
Yeah.
He's placed a couple. I think he's been second in maidens over 6. But I think as soon as he stepped up to 7, it was a true test of stamina. So that worries me about that one. I think he'll be running on at the end, but if something's got away, that would put me off. He will be super fit. It's Ali, we agree with that. Royston will be trying, but he's going to be carrying 59 over a short trip. Not entirely convinced.
I think there's a lot of these horses that, especially form at Jebel Ali, Portsmouth. I think even Journalistic, who won a maiden, but really just appreciated the 7 furlongs for me.
I mean,
last season.
It wasn't a great maiden. I think Dar Rashid was 3rd in that race.
Yeah.
Who's in the maiden again this time.
But don't you think these horses that won maidens at Jebel Ali are not guaranteed to go straight into handicaps and win, are they?
No, not at Jebel Ali, because you could win a maiden as Journalistic did. Journalistic had a lot of races, so he's got a handicap mark.
It's eight pounds.
And he's got £8 higher.
Win, wasn't he?
And if you go back before that, distance.
Yeah.
You know, his 2 bits of form are at Jebel Ali though. He was 4th behind Need to Know, nice horse, and then he won. But I'm not sure that was the best race. Again, the race before that, Fauzi was running him over 10 furlongs. Yeah, I think the horse needs a trip. 7 furlongs, I think is its bare minimum. Over 6, just could be took for toe. And if one of those horses takes the initiative and tries to push on, that will what will be Journalistic.
Yeah.
I think if you go like the Saba's horse with Dane on board, number 3, Rafij.
Yeah.
You don't know if he's going to like Jebel Ali. Purely on that purpose, I couldn't back him. Masaba will have worked him there. They'll know whether he's got a chance. But his last 2 runs, beaten 25 lengths, 15 lengths. You just can't be convinced. I wouldn't be going in for that reason.
Yeah.
Druba's horse couldn't touch there. It was beaten 25 lengths at the track it trains at.
Yeah.
Even though he's the one horse over the right trip, in my opinion, couldn't touch him for that. If you look at Backstage Tour, I go back to what I said. He won over 6, but I don't think it was a particularly strong maiden, and I think that'll be proved.
Yeah.
I think if you see Dar Rashid and
You could be right. Yeah. Definitely.
proved not to be a great maiden, and he's up to 80, so he's having to carry top weight. He won the maiden off 68. He's gone up. He's racing off. And to be fair, he won the maiden by 3/4 of a length, and he's gone from 68 to 80.
Big jump.
That's a big jump from winning a maiden.
What do you think about this Bertram, number 6, who was just behind Special Boy. That doesn't give him the win over Lapcaf at all, really, does it? But has put a decent run. I only ran at
JEBEL Ali
once and put a decent run there. Went to Sharjah on the dirt sand over there and ran okay. And I think he might appreciate this surface, but I'm not sure he's good enough to beat yours.
He ran okay. Actually, I think if I'm correct, let me just drop that down. It's my new horse, so I'm just learning about it. We were closer to Special Boy than Bertram was.
Yeah.
What worries me is, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, but you normally send your horses that aren't very good to Sharjah.
Yes.
You don't send your best horses there.
No.
The prize money is about half of the other tracks. Ismail Mohammed, great season in the UK. The form of Ismail Mohammed in the UK has been absolutely top notch. It could be the interesting one. But again, I'm convinced, if I'm correct, I'm on the wrong page, otherwise I'd check. But I'm pretty convinced in this race when Special Boy won and Bertram was second, I had Prince Sean in the race. And Prince Sean missed the break by 5 lengths, travelled great, got back into the race, got caught in traffic, yet was only beat 3 lengths, so was behind Bertram.
Yeah.
If I remember the race correctly, go on your race card and check. Yeah. I think he was 4th, beaten 3.25 lengths or something. I know I backed him each race, but I was gutted we only got 4th. I don't think we'd have beat Special Boy even with missing the break that day, because Special Boy travelled like a machine at the end of the season. But the second and third for me, I couldn't take anything out of them. I didn't write down, I need to look at that one next time, because Loverboy made up about 3 lengths on him, so Prince Sean, having raced badly. I genuinely can't go for that. I actually am with you. First night, good first time out. He does like to race first time out. He's excellent at this track. He's never at the prize money. But they're bringing us a TV to watch the race. And he's got form behind some of the horses in this race, like Lafayette. He was beaten 6 lengths that day, but that was over further.
Yes.
His win at this track, if I'm correct, was over 5. He's got very good form over 6.
Don't you think that with a nice low weight, you're better off sometimes than having a heavy weight? And he's really got a massive weight pull on all of these.
He's got kilos on them.
Yeah.
And I said earlier, if one person, a lot of these horses need further, if one person takes the initiative at about the 2.5 pole and tries to kick for home. Now, I now own First Night, and I have said lots of times, this horse can be a bit of a dog.
Yeah. And
I think the thing to do with him on this race is to kick him in the belly, try and go early. Richie's probably going to turn around and say, no, I'm not doing that. He's the jockey, so I'll trust him. But that's what I would do. I'd try and go early and try and take a march on some of these horses that need further.
Yeah.
And you could get 3-4 lengths. And at JEBEL Ali at the start of the season, tired horses, first race of the season, the jockeys aren't hard on them if you're 3 or 4 lengths.
This is why I've gone for him, because he can run on the course.
Yeah.
And Richard Mullen's no fool. And I think he'll run well there.
What worries me is that Cummings has gone for him as well. I don't know if he's just being supportive of me.
I don't think it's worrying. I think sometimes it's just common sense.
Yeah. So I think the weight thing, First Night. So I'm going First Night.
Yeah.
First Night as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so we both got for First Night, so we found the one that won't win this week.
Then you'll be in the lead again.
You'll be in the lead and then decide
as a moment.
Well, if he wins, then I've got the trophy, haven't I?
Yeah, but you'll be definitely in the lead.
If we win 2 races on the first day of Maidan at JEBEL Ali, I guarantee they won't be giving a car away to the winning owner at the end of the season. That's race number 5. We're both going for First Night.